But next up, we got Gintama versus Reborn. I think I'm the only one here that has covered both of the animes, and I just gotta say Gintama has it every day, all day. Like, there's nothing in Reborn that I could feel like is genuinely fucking with it. Like, even in the last argument with Hunter x Hunter Yu Yu Hakusho, I said that, but I think there's some points where you can refute my my arguments with, like, Gintama. If you want to say, oh, the start was slow, so is Reborn. Arguably even worse than Gintama.
Oh my god, the start of Reborn is so bad.
Yo, you want to talk about main characters? Gintoki's got that all day over Suna. Suna don't even want to be a mafia boss for 200 damn episodes, and even into the manga, I haven't gotten all the way through, but into the manga, he's getting elected to be a Mongola boss, and he's like, I don't want to be a boss, I want to be a bitch. Like it has some really good side characters in Reborn as well. I mean, it has like Squallow, Yamamoto, Gokudera, even though Gokudera was kind of pissing me off during the future arc.
Gokudera though. Chill on Gokudera. Chill on Gokudera.
No, I like it. I really do like him. It's just I didn't like how he treated Yamamoto in the future arc. Like at one point he was just being a dick. And let's talk about the future arc too, man. 130 episodes for no reason. 130 episodes for no reason, dude. Like the future arc.
Is it not that long in the manga?
No, it's long in the manga, but like it's. When you take a look at the anime, it's just obviously it was killed by pacing. Like they literally had like 8-minute recaps. 10-minute, I don't even think 10-minute airing. It was like 8-minute recaps, 8-minute airing, ending, and then they had like a little show at the end. Now it sometimes go from like 2 minutes to 4 minutes. Like it was, the pacing kind of killed it, but I think it still was a good arc. It was just, the beginning was really strong. The middle was my least favorite part, and the end was like what made it all kind of worth it. I feel like that fight with Byakuran and like the fact that somebody had actually died was really good for the arc. But
shout out to Bari.
Yeah, he's cool. But Gintama though, like all the serious arcs are good. There's the first serious arc is not like the last serious arc. It's just an okay kind of introduction. It's like we can do this shit, but when they actually start doing this shit, like the SA arc. That should probably
the SA arc,
Shogun assassination arc, Pharaoh Shinsengumi arc, Rakuyo, Silver Soul, and then even if you go back into it, like Curse of a Nation, Four Devas arc, like it's so good. They're just so wonderfully written, and they're not really drawn out. It tells a story in a very short manner, and it does a very good job with it every time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Jay on this one. When it comes down to the amount of episodes I've watched, out of the 42 episodes, I put this shit in like my top 5 instantly, because there's never been a show that I actually watched and laughed that hard for that long ever on an anime. This show takes characters that are in the show for like 13 minutes and make you feel sad about them and what they're going through for that entire episode. It was a character that died, and I legit shed a tear watching him die. Like, it was one of those situations. He was in it for 12 minutes. It makes you feel something for the characters. And even though I haven't gotten to the serious arc yet, and I'm right around the corner from it, right?
That's one of them.
I'm right around the corner from getting into the first serious arc. I still sat there and just looked at it. I was like, I can't believe that I actually felt that much emotion for that character. And the characters that are still in the show, the reoccurring ones, the mains, I still look at them and I'm like, I definitely enjoyed and loved this show. So I'm gonna have to go with Gintama on this one.
Right, and I'm glad you brought up the stuff that isn't serious, because like that's what a lot of people who try to get into Gintama like go for. Like they see some of these fights and they're like, oh yo, this show is good, and then they hop right in, and it's like you're not getting to that, especially like certain fights you're not getting to for like 150 episodes plus. But like there's a lot of good moments in there that are funny, that are kind of wholesome, that are sad, and Gintama does like a very good job at just doing that. Now the comedy in the first 50 episodes, you can kind of say it's like
it's hit or miss.
Yeah, hit or miss, depends on the person you're messing with, but like it literally gets better as the story goes on. And even the antagonists, like I gotta just shout these people out, bro. Utsuro, Takasugi, Jirocho, Oboro, like there's a lot of good fucking antagonists in Gintama that don't even get any credit because nobody's watching it. But it's really good and better than Reborn in my opinion.
I'm not gonna lie, I watched Gintama, watched about 70-some episodes of it, and it was rough for me to watch, bro. Like, it was just kind of boring, I wanted more. and the comedy for me definitely did fall flat. And so if that's not hitting, I wasn't in love with any of the characters for like, Gentoki's cool, he's dope, I like him. Everybody else is just kind of like they have their tropes. Nothing was really nothing was really grabbing me for real. So I don't know. I couldn't really get into it. So I will say, I think Hitman Reborn just hits better for me. The characters hit more.
Can I ask you how the characters hit more in Reborn? Because like there's literally two characters that are nothing but dishwashers in the show and fucking cooking and cleaning.
Yeah, no, they are actual dishwashers, but that is what a mafia wife, looks like. Bro. Apparently, according to them. Allegedly, I'm not saying that.
Well, didn't your show have a white woman with an afro whipping the shit out of black people?
Look. It also has motherfucking Lambo. Look, listen, it also has motherfucking Lambo.
Oh yeah, that's a good argument. The most annoying character in the show.
No. Big Lambo really fucking him, bro. Stop playing my nigga.
The one 20 years down the line is the other one.
Big Lambo. It's fucking hilarious, bro. The nigga don't know shit that's going on.
But I'm gonna stop disrespecting Lambo. He has his moments when he goes from he's annoying character to like a really good character.
I think he's funny, bro. I think he's funny. He is his comedy, at least in a very slow part of Reborn when it's really slow. I'm not gonna lie, Lambo kept me awake. You know?
He pissed me off in the future arc at the start. Like they're saying, don't leave the base. Don't leave the base. And he fucking leaves and almost gets them caught.
He's a dumbass child though. Like what do you expect?
Bro, you have Eben right next to him. She has a brain.
That's a different child. Nah, but I do love Reborn. I love the characters, the character interactions. I will say the two females in the crew definitely don't do anything but stand there and just kind of look pretty. But hey, that's neither here nor there. I never said they had the best characters, but I feel like their characters are more memorable to me than the ones in Gintama.
And that's fair for someone that hasn't seen all of Gintama.
Yeah.
I will say though, like Reborn, the show and the character Reborn is like one of my favorite characters, but he doesn't get to do basically anything throughout the whole manga. And it's not even his fault. It's just he's been written into a part where it's like it breaks the code if he were to fight. So like he doesn't get to do much. I like Devaria as a supporting cast rather than antagonist. And this is the thing about Reborn, at least in my viewing. I felt that Reborn was like having me watch something and then I'd be like, oh, this is where we're going. And then they just subvert my expectations like completely. Like in the Varia arc, they had Squallow coming out there going after Basil, about to like kill him. I was like, oh shit. All right, it's actually picking up. And then it turns into some tournament arc. And even then, that arc, I felt like I didn't really like it too much because number one, it dragged on. And then like when people were getting into a fight, they kept switching the perspectives too much to the point where I could really be immersed. But as a supporting cast, like towards the end in the future arc and wherever else they may have shown up, they were much more likable to me.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, we got 2 votes for Gintama. We have one guy hasn't seen either, and then we have the other that is ill-informed on Gintama. So I think we all can really agree that Gintama sweeps Reborn.
What? Isaiah hasn't seen Reborn.
Well, that's why he would agree it sweeps it, because he hasn't seen it. Same way you agree that Reborn sweeps with Gintama, because you haven't really seen it.
But like he hasn't seen Reborn, so his vote can't count either if my vote doesn't count.
All right. Well, I guess my vote counts, which is Gintama's better.
Oh, damn.
All right. But next we got Fairy Tail versus Black Clover, which I guess my vote won't really count because I haven't seen a single episode or page of Black Clover, but I think Fairy Tail is just honestly overhated. It has its issues for sure. Like there's broken power scaling. If you have an issue with the power of friendship, some people have an issue with fan service, like that's all in there. But outside of that, like if you could just get past that shit, like it's actually really good. It's a story that has a lot of good characters in it. Like Natsu is actually he's a underrepresented main character. Like when people are talking about good main characters, I never see him pop up. And the supporting cast like Erza, Gray, Gadgil, and a whole list of others really make the show just a lot better. There's a lot of mysteries in Fairy Tail as well that are kind of fun to try and solve as you watch along. Like I remember because I got onto Fairy Tail because me and Lamont were doing this thing where if he watched One Piece, the initial deal was that every 100 episodes I'd watch one anime that he'd recommend, but he called to One Piece and he was like, just watch Fairy Tail. And it was worth it. Very slow start. It doesn't really get good, like consistently good, I mean, until like the Tenru Island arc. Before that, there were kind of like hit or misses. There were some moments where I'm like, okay, this is really good. But once Tenru Island hit, it was good all the way up until the Alvarez arc. which just really fell flat on its face in the last a little bit. Besides that, it's good.
I'm gonna be an advocate for Black Clover here. Very interesting kind of story, you know what I mean? Like Asta not having any magic in a world where everybody is so, magic dominant. So it's pretty interesting to see how that power kind of goes against other types of magic and stuff like that. Characters are pretty good in my opinion. There are some who are just like, they're kind of throwaways, but for the most part a lot of them are pretty good. My favorite arc was the Elven War arc or whatever it was called. Very, very interesting arc. The Wizard King, overpowered, dude. You want to talk about an overpowered character? This dude is overpowered, but it makes it fun. It makes it fun to watch. Enemies are pretty good. Asta kind of finding that he can use like the demon's power and all that kind of shit, and him kind of honing that is also nice. But for the most part, I do enjoy Black Clover for what it is. Like Fairy Tail, I have not seen, but it's really just because of the basically people in the anime community not really caring about it. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna watch it. If people aren't saying it's not all that, I'm just not gonna bother. So
yeah, I mean that's super fair, Evan. I watch Black Clover, love Black Clover. Hella characters that are just like really standouts, like Marileona, didn't bring her up, but she's awesome. Yami, fucking all the mostly a lot of the captains are pretty fucking badass. Like for Gohan, you get to the Silvas, like I they're pretty cool. A lot of the characters are pretty cool. And I really did like the way they took Asta with like having a mage with no magic, and I like the direction they took him, where it's like, all right, he might not have magic, but he's going to have anti-magic, and all that stuff is awesome. But my God, Fairy Tail is just awesome. I can't go on long enough about how much I love it, so I won't. I'm just gonna say I probably like Fairy Tail much more than Jerome does, and I've watched it multiple times all the way through. I understand where he has his gripes with the Alvarez arc, but me personally, when you look at Fairy Tail, I think when you look at it, you have to look at it through the themes that it represents, and a lot of it, the entire thing is made up to be an anime that's about hanging around with your friends. Like, it's about getting drunk with your friends, having a good time. That's why the name of the show is Fairy Tail. It's not called Natsu Dragonale. The name of the show is the guild itself, because that's what it's all about. It's all about being with your friends. So of course the power of friendship is going to have a huge fucking part in it. It's the whole damn theme of the show. To those who have a problem with that, like, I feel like you just really haven't watched the show for what it is. You're just looking at it for the fights, and maybe need to think a bit more about what you're watching. But that's neither here nor there. I'll say Fairy Tail is the clear answer for me, and I love both series, but I just love Fairy Tail so much more.
I mean, I feel like Fairy Tail is just, I don't know, I haven't watched it, like I said, but I don't know, just the me seeing it from the outside, if I had to choose, the characters just by look more appealing in Black Clover than they do in Fairy Tail. Just looking from the outside, hey, maybe it's good.
But you can't always judge a book by its cover, right?
I guess, but if a lot of people, in the anime community are saying, then I don't know, man. The book's been judged, so we'll see. But I'm gonna stick up for Black Clover. So
me personally, I'm a big proponent of not taking the anime community for what they say, because they told me Chainsaw Man was the next coming of Jesus Christ, and it is not. Yes. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep moving down the list. Next up, we got Cowboy Bebop versus Trigun. I love them both, to be honest. Like, I've seen both of the series twice, but I just, it's a simple opinion. I really do have to side with Bebop here. It's funny because on my first watch of Bebop, I actually didn't like the show. I thought it had a very strong start and a horrible ending, but then I rewatched it maybe like a year or two after, and it was like really good. It was a whole different show. Like, I was watching my eyes closed the first time. But Trigun as well, it has a good story, but in terms of anime, because I haven't watched the manga, I'm not counting Trigun Stampede either, because that's a whole different argument. But Trigun itself, it's the animation is a little dated. Like, both of these anime are running at the same time, and the animation for Bebop just blows Trigun out the water. Some of the characters in Trigun aren't really that impactful, I guess. Like, there's Wolfwood. Wolfwood is like awesome. He's one of my favorite characters in general. I don't know why. He's just a chill ass dude. And then there's also Vash the Stampede, which is he's just great, man. I can't find anything wrong with Vash. But you start taking in some of the side characters, like Millie and Marrow, they're all right. Like, they're not crazy, but they're cool. And then you have like the antagonists in there. Legato was definitely a better antagonist than Knives. Like Knives was kind of ass in my opinion, but even still, the story as a whole, like just exploring this man's journey on just his past and all the stuff he's been through and his journey to just not kill anybody, it was a very good watch. And the moments when they really were hitting Trigun, like that episode when they had stuck on the ship and the whole plot twist surrounding it, like it was really just a good watch. But Cowboy Bebop does it every episode. Like legitimately every episode, so I have to give it to Bebop.
Yeah, man, 2 classics. Look, I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet. Cowboy Bebop takes this just off the opening.
Yeah.
So much better.
Oh yeah.
And that's the only point I gotta make. Give it to Bebop. I love Trigun. Still just give it to Bebop.
Okay, so in my honest opinion, when it comes down to these specific 2, I didn't finish. I got close to finishing Trigun, but I didn't finish it a while ago. But when it comes down to both Cowboy Bebop and Trigun, I'm gonna go with Cowboy Bebop. Just everything about this show is 100% peak in towers and triumphs. Fucking Trigun in its entirety. These subtle and slight character arcs that you see in the show that H1 goes through over time, that you get to see that over their extremely episodic episodes and shit. You feel for the characters, you understand them, you get to just see everything about, you know, each thing that makes them, and you also get to experience just the journey that they're going on. So I personally just say that this show, Cowboy Bebop, is 100% better in any way, shape, or form than a lot of the shows that's even on this list, in my opinion. But that's another discussion.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup then. We got Samurai Champloo versus Black Lagoon. Now, this one is definitely a lot harder, in my opinion, than the last matchup because I've watched both of these shows twice. The thing about me is, like, I kind of group these 4 in the similar class for some reason. It's just a thing with me.
It's the Outlaw Quartet.
Yeah, literally. But I rewatched both of these shows, and Samurai Champloo, I love the episodic nature of it, and I guess because I'm also a Gintama fan, like it doesn't really bother me too much that there's not just a solid plot every single episode. The standalone episodes in Champloo can have like some really just great lessons or just are really entertaining. And then there's also the arcs. The arcs are actually really good in Champloo. Like they're only 3 episodes max, but they tell a really good story. The fights are always awesome, and I love just looking at the characters and their family kind of bond that they have, and they grow with each other. Now, the ending is kind of up in the air for some people. Like, when I saw it the first time, I didn't really mind. When I saw it again, I was watching with some people, and they were really upset because they felt like it didn't make much sense or just underwhelming. But I like the feel-good vibe it gave you at the end of the series. But then you have Black Lagoon, which isn't really a feel-good anime. Like, you just sit there and just watch people being chaotic for 24 episodes straight, and it's like the greatest thing you've ever seen. There really is no other anime I've seen that's had that aura like Black Lagoon. Like, there's a couple that are kind of similar, like the 4 I have right now, or the other 3. There's also this one called Michiko and Hachi. We're not talking about that one, but Black Lagoon really is like on an island of its own in terms of just how it operates. It's just so different and it's so good. I didn't even get to read the manga for it because apparently it's still ongoing. I'm planning on doing it eventually, but it's just Black Lagoon, man.
Chaos, the anime.
Like everybody, I wouldn't say everybody because it definitely can get a little mature and graphic, but if you want something that just kind of breaks the boundaries, Black Lagoon is the way to go. But in terms of picking between the 2, I don't know. I've kind of been on this high for Black Lagoon recently, but at the same time, Samurai Champloo it's just an awesome story, and you got to take into account even in like the funny episodes, like when Mugen was being taught how to read, or like the baseball episode. Like, I don't know, I have to kind of just say I throw my hands up in the air and just say either or it can go.
Hey man, ain't nothing funnier to me than None with a Gun. And
yeah.
Black Lagoon got that, bro. I watched Samurai Champloo a long time ago, but I really do it has a very nice warm place in my heart. I have a lot of love for it. But Black Lagoon is just so savage, and I need that every now and again in my anime. And I really value Black Lagoon for giving me that chaos, the savagery, just the debauchery, all of that, all the negativity that I needed in my life in an anime. I gotta go with that. Gotta go with my Black Lagoon.
Right, and I can totally respect it and see it. Like, you just gotta break the boundaries every once in a while and just look at the chaos and off the wall shit they do, like trying to get you think, like, what was it? They used a boat to shoot a missile at a damn helicopter.
Bro, there's a lot going on. I was literally thinking of the boat scene, as you said, like the off the wall shit. But I was like, man, the boat scene was crazy.
Yo, and then like even other stuff, man, like Revy versus Roberto. Like, you don't really see girls fighting each other like that.
No.
And especially not even in anime, which, I mean, they definitely fight, but if it's kind of like toned down a little bit. Like, this was like some crazy, just going in, like no holds barred type fight. I don't even see some guys fighting like that in anime. Like, they went off the fucking chain with that shit. Like, I don't know, man. I really don't know which one I would go for here. It's a lot harder than I initially thought when I was going in here. But yeah, I think that pretty much just covers our topic here for Samurai Champloo and Black Lagoon. I say you haven't seen either, have you?
I've seen small bit of Samurai Champloo. I think I got like 4 or 5 episodes in, and I just never went back. Not saying it was a bad one. I'm at the time I was going through probably the worst anime burnout possible, and I just didn't get through anything. So
you gotta make sure you get to that, man. That's the same guy who directed not Champloo, but
Cowboy
the same
Bebop,
guy. Yeah. Make sure you get into that. All right, so we just reached halfway through the tournament, and it's already been an hour. So we're gonna do this thing and break it up into 2 different videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this part. I hope we didn't sound like dumbasses, because this shit's going right up to the internet wherever, and like people are just relentless out there. So I hope we did a good job defending our shows. Please leave a like, comment down below what your thoughts are, and subscribe on the way out, and we will see you in the next one. Later.